Hi everybody, it's your favorite English teacher here, Amy Joy, and today I am excited to start a new series with you all, something that my students always ask me about and tend to struggle with, and that is verb tenses. And the first verb tense we are going to cover is going to be the simple present. Now, if you are an intermediate or an advanced learner of English, stay here because this video is for you. Most of the YouTube videos I have seen on the simple present are for beginners, but I wanted to create something for my intermediate to advanced students because I still see students struggling with the simple present even years after learning English. Now, when I was making the first video on the simple present, it ended up being like 30 minutes. There is so much to say about it. So we are going to take it slow and break it down step by step. So over the next 3 weeks, we will talk about 3 uses of the simple present. For each use, I am going to give you an informal example, something you might see in speaking or conversation, and I will also give you a more advanced academic example, something you might see in writing. I will go in depth and discuss common mistakes that my intermediate and advanced students make. And then at the end of each video, we will do an error correction section. So I hope that you find this helpful and are able to improve your accuracy with the simple present. So let's go. All right, use number 1. Use the simple present when talking about a source. This could be a book, a video, a movie, a piece of artwork, a YouTube video, something like that. So let's look at an example. Maybe in a conversation, your friend says, "Have you heard of the movie Parasite?" And then you say, "No, what's it about?" And then your friend says, "It shows the life of a poor family in Korea who works for a wealthy family. It's really interesting and does a good job talking about wealth and inequality." So here you can see the simple present being used several times. It shows the life of a poor family in Korea who works for a wealthy family. It is really interesting and does a good job. So here we're using the simple present to talk about a source. Now, one of the most common mistakes I see my students making with this is they will use the simple past. They will say things like, "It showed the life of a poor family who worked for a wealthy family. It did a good job." They will use the simple past. Now, this makes sense to me, and I understand why, because you might have seen this movie in the past, so you want to report about it in the past. However, for these kinds of sources, for books, movies, poems, pieces of art, they are kind of a fact. They are treated as a fact. So what it is about is a fact, and you can treat it like that. So just make sure you use simple present to report about a source. And I have another example for you. Maybe you are in an art history class and your teacher asks you, "What is your favorite painting from chapter 4? And you say, Starry Night by Van Gogh. I love how he uses different brushstrokes to create that glow. I think he really makes you feel the magic of nighttime." Now, noticing again, we are using the simple present, and you can see again my students using simple past. They might say, "I love how he used brushstrokes," or "He really made you feel a certain way." Again, this makes sense. Van Gogh is very dead. He is no longer alive. So it's kind of interesting that we would choose to use the simple present. But again, for works of art, literature, movies, these kinds of things, they remain as facts, and you can talk about them in the simple present. Let's take a look at an academic and more formal example. Maybe a student writes, "In the article, Eric Weiner claims that immigrants are often more creative than non-immigrants because they experience life from multiple perspectives." Here you can see the verb claims being used in the simple present. Oftentimes with reporting verbs like argues, asserts, claims, mentions, recommends, all these kinds of verbs, we often use them in the simple present to report about a source. And some other examples include, "The survey results indicate," or "the author says," or "the artist wants us to know," or "the researchers suggest." So you might find this useful when writing an essay or a short response about a certain source. And again, the common mistake that I see with this is students using the simple past instead of the simple present. They will say things like, in the article, Eric Weiner claimed, or the survey results indicated, or the artist said, or the artist wanted us to know, or the researchers suggested. Now, I get it, the researchers, the artists, the authors, they completed their work in the past, but we talk about sources like they are facts, and we talk about them in the simple present. So let's do a quick error correction activity. Read the sentences and correct the 2 verb tense errors. So let's review. It says, the film Parasite highlighted various themes. Now, I hope that since you're reporting about a source, you changed highlighted into highlights using the simple present. And the second one, let's see. The director, Bong Joon-ho, combined elements of satire, drama, and suspense. Now, even though the director created this film in the past, we need to use the simple present. So we would say, Bong Joon-ho combines elements of satire, drama, and suspense. All right, well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you found this helpful, I would really appreciate it if you would click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you do that, especially if you want to follow along with my verb tense series. Next week is use number 2 of the simple present, and I hope to see you there. Bye.